Hi guys, welcome to Reinvented. Hope you guys are all doing good today. I am so excited. This is the first episode of Reinvented, and we got a long thing of things we can talk about today. I also cannot hear myself talk. I have my headphones on, so yeah, I'm hoping I'm not talking too loudly out in for everyone to hear. Hope you guys can. I don't know. Okay, so kind of before we get right in the episode, hi, I'm Kayla. I am a comedian. I also play soccer. I am a content creator. Hence why people think I'm so weird. Because now I'm starting my own podcast. Again. Yeah. But I kind of decided to do Reinvented because there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about. Like when it comes to, being funny or being a content creator, putting yourself out there. There's stuff people don't talk about. So I wanted to kind of take it from performers, aspect of taking it deeper. Talking about lives. We'll have special guests as well on here. Yeah. I don't know, how this thing is working. Okay. So I'm going to get right into the questions. Which, by the way, thank you guys for everyone on my TikTok who gave me a list of fucking questions. I had 2 yesterday, and now we're down to about 40. I got 34 in total, so let's do this. So I get a lot of questions of, what my biggest regret is. And I will say, my biggest, I think, and it's not even so much a regret. It's more of, things I think I could have done better. I think, in all honesty, I could have been a little bit more like myself. I feel like in high school, I was that depressed kid. I didn't want to live anymore until I kind of found how to take what I was feeling into my art. I wasn't, and by any means, I was not a good painter or drawer in high school at all. Not even, I'm still not. But it took a while to kind of find that. I just kind of, I guess, victim blamed myself. And, I just was everyone hates me, da-da-da. And I think it took me so long to realize that. If I had a different mindset, I could, be a lot, just be a lot happier. But I do think, in terms of when it comes to, professional, regrets, I do think I could have, maybe not, gone too much into something. With, if anyone knows, with At Home Coffee, I went so much into it, which is something I'm still very proud of. But it definitely probably wasn't the right time, and also just wasn't, at the end of the day, it was going nowhere. And I just felt so mentally drained, and I felt I'm doing something wrong, when in all reality, sometimes that's gonna happen. Some things, you feel like you hit rock bottom, but it's when you feel like you hit rock bottom that the next opportunity picks up. So, yeah, I feel in that aspect, I think I could have done a lot better. Okay, let's see. So then, yeah, what's a hidden talent? I don't think I have a hidden talent, but you guys always love to tell me that I can write, why I write backwards. So for starters, when I make TikTok videos, guys, it mirrors it so it looks like I'm writing backwards. I promise I'm writing with my right hand. I will literally be going like this. I promise. That's how it is. But I can write a little bit with my left, and it still looks pretty decent. Now, I don't think that's a hidden talent. I don't, people are are you, what is it, damn, I'm afraid of the word, but I don't know if I am or not. I don't know. And to be honest, now that I think about it, I when I used to like train for like softball, because I loved softball growing up too. Many of you didn't know. I didn't. Yes, I chose soccer. Okay, but I did not feel comfortable doing like being right-handed pitching. I liked to pitch more with my left. It felt better to pitch with my left than it did with my own right hand, and I am right-handed. So take that as a hidden talent if you want. It might be. I genuinely don't know. I can't juggle to save my damn life, so like I can't. I don't know how the hell y'all do that. I can't do any of that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What was your funniest experience as a child? Okay. I don't know if it's so much funny, but it makes me look back and realize what the fuck was I doing. But I had a this is where I feel like my intrusive thoughts had definitely gotten in the way of me. I feel like they definitely got in the way. As like I was like 6 or 7, but my dad was cooking, and I saw the stove on, and you know those intrusive thoughts that are like, ooh, I wonder what that would feel like. I touch it. That's exactly what I did. I fucking touched that thing. I was like, ow, my hand. My dad's like, now you know why you don't do that. Now you know why you don't do that. I was like, shut up. Don't judge me. Like, don't judge me, man. Alright. Okay, how old were you when you realized you were, gifted with your talents and dreams? Okay. I'm going to back it up right there, because I feel like people need to understand something. Talent only takes you so far. You got to put the work in to do it. So, and I also kind of add this in there. People ask me, like, if I believe in, like, manifestation, like, oh, you manifest things. It kind of. Like, I can't just be like, oh, yes, like, I want to be a successful comedian. That's not going to work. Like, I can't be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a successful comedian, and then it's just going to happen the next day. You got to put the work in to do it. Like, you got to put the work in to do it. And I feel like people don't understand that. Like, I'm like, it's not so much that it's, like, gifted as I like to work hard. And there was a lot of things, like, recently that, I've just wanted to do. So this is your PSA here. If there is something you want to do, go for it. Just fucking go for it. Like, there is nothing wrong with chasing your dreams. At all. And honestly, yeah, I have a lot of dreams, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But at the end of the day, like, I have never been that person who's just like, who wants to sit there and be like, hope life comes to me. I've always wanted the different types of careers. Like, I've never just wanted to be like my older sister. She wanted to be a teacher. I never wanted that. I had to be the different bitch here. I had to be the one who's like, I want to be a singer. I want to be an actor. Like, and I've always been that way. Now, whether or not, like, people are like, well, that's not realistic careers. And even when I went to beauty school, guys, I genuinely, like, I loved at that time doing makeup. Like, it was something I, like, dead-ass loved. But it was something I put the work in for, and even I had people tell me, well, you should also learn to do hair. I did not want to learn to do hair. It did not sound fun to do that at all. At least for me. So, it's not so much, oh, I was gifted. It's just, I've always worked hard. And I know people will always be like, well, that will always subject me to bullying, because I'm unsure. Sometimes I'm unsure in my life. I'm an undecisive bitch. Especially even when getting food, guys. I cannot for the life of me. I cannot for the life of me decide what I want to eat. It's so hard. Even now, my dad, he can't have solid foods right now, right? So I have to decide what the hell I want to eat when I'm hanging out with him because he can't. Usually we used to bounce it off each other. Now we don't. Alright, let's see. Okay. What was it like the first time you saw a spirit? Okay. So I have told people this so many times. Like that, I have seen spirits before. Now people, it can be subject to whatever you believe. I do not care. Yes, I have seen spirits, guys. Okay? Actual spirits. It's not some mental disorder. It's literal. I've seen literal spirits, and yes, I've also heard them too. And I don't exactly know what it was like the first time I ever saw a spirit. Like, to be honest, like I don't remember the first time, because now, like, looking back, I genuinely cannot. Like, I can think of like so many different instances where I was like, was that a spirit? Like, was that like? Because at the time, like when I was like little, I thought they were just things like in my head, like, or like, I was kind of like going crazy. I remember there was one time like at my grandma's, like, so she lives like 3 hours away from me, but I remember like I woke up in the middle of the night in the bed, and well, I saw something like in front of me. Like, it was like at the edge of the bed, just staring at me and smiling at me, and it scared me because I was probably like 8 years old at the time. But I remember seeing it, and I don't know, I don't know what it was, and I mean, I was able to walk past it, but at the time it scared me, so, yeah, I'm not entirely sure, like, the first time I saw a spirit, because I also remember, also at my grandma's, I could see, like, a man, like, sitting through the TV, and that's how I realized I can see them when they're in, like, if they, like, pop up through the TV, so, yeah. And mind you, this TV was off, so it's not like I was watching a TV show. It's like an old-ass TV. Alright. Favorite memory with a close friend. So I had a friend in, like, 3rd grade, guys. She was definitely nicest girl you'll ever meet, but I remember, like, I hated the school I went to for 3rd grade because, I don't know, it wasn't, like, I wasn't with people I knew, and I really just didn't enjoy the school I was going to. Like, it felt like I brainwashed zombies. Like, we had a mean teacher. I'm not kidding when I say mean teacher, guys. Seriously, she was mean. But then you had, like, these, like, kids would just walk around like zombies. It was so weird. Like, that's all I remember thinking in 3rd grade. But I had a friend, like, she was, like, kind of like my second friend and the friend I hung out with the most, especially towards, like, the end of the year. Because I remember my first friend I had, I remember, like, in the school, she was, like, I told her, like, I had, like, a skin patch on my thumb. And I remember telling her, I was like, yeah, I just started bleeding. She's like, ooh, I like blood, let me see it. And I'm like, get away from me. Like, okay, I've never had anyone tell me that. Yeah, maybe that's just me. But, yeah. It was such a weird experience. But I don't know, they kind of pushed me out a lot, in the friend group I was hanging out with. So I like hung out with, like, another friend I had, and honestly, she was very quiet. I mean, and to be honest, I think she was quieter than me. Like, I wasn't a very talkative kid. I feel like I definitely brought the life to these kids, because, I mean, seriously, guys, they would walk around like zombies. It was so weird. This school was so weird. But they would literally walk around like zombies, and it was just like, I'm gonna keep putting the emphasis on that. But she's like made me this thing. She's like, oh, I hope we're friends forever. I haven't seen her since then. I don't know if she knows I like, you know, what I'm doing now. I have not seen her in years, so still one of my best friends. Also, I've taken pictures with friends, like one of my friends who lives in Kansas. We were taking pictures at Oaks Park. Don't know if anyone remembers that. I don't know if she remembers that, but she watched my podcast, you know. Okay, let's see. I really should, like, be checking these off here, because I'm gonna get lost. Now, let's see, guys. Okay. This is a very odd one to me, and I don't want to know where y'all's mindset was with this, but fuck, marry, kill. You got George Washington, you got Obama, and Sal. God, guys, like, are we trying to, like, are we trying to make, like, are we gonna try to make Sal see this and, like, be like, what is wrong with this 21-year-old when he's in his mid-40s? And I really don't, like, and not even in a political way. I don't think I'd want to marry Obama. I don't. But I also don't want to fuck George Washington either. Let's see. Okay, so can I kill George Washington? He's already dead. Just don't come back from the dead and watch this, please. Let's see. I mean, I guess I could marry Obama, and then you know that would lead to fuck Sal, but I'm not gonna do that. I feel so awkward. Watch, they're gonna watch this and be like, this dumb bitch. I'm gonna tell Joe you're coming to see his show. Okay. So, why do you find it awkward when other people write in videos? And do I not like my own list videos and stuff like that? I don't actually really find it super awkward when people write in videos. I'm super awkward. So, it's not so much that, like, I find it awkward. I actually don't mind making the list videos. Of course, like, I would love to make coffee. But, again, like, I like to kind of share, like, at least for me, as a content creator, what I love to, like, you know, the behind the scenes of, like, well, I gotta buy the products. I can't just magically make them appear. I wish that's how that worked. I wish I didn't have to go to the grocery store. But I gotta go to the grocery store. Like, and she's like, what do you think viewers feel the same? I realize that they're not everyone's favorite videos, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's a very important video to show to people because, again, I'm still an adult. And, you know, I still struggle a lot with that. So, I see what you guys mean by that, but, like, I like to show the behind the scenes and not like the, you know, oh, here I am making coffee. Alright. Let's see. Out of all the things you have gotten into, what is the thing you're most passionate about? So I have always just, like, and I've kind of realized, like, I just love making people happy, in all honesty. Like, not even so much happy, but, like, something that people can look up to. Because you shouldn't just have to settle for, like, you know, a simple, like, 9 to 5. If you want to go out and do something with your life, like, I say with your life, but, like, if you want something, go and get it. Like, you know, like, if you want McDonald's, go and get McDonald's. It's, like, the stupidest analogy I've ever used in my life. That is not an analogy that needed to be used. But honestly, like, if you guys want something, like, go and get it. Don't just pray and hope that it comes to you. Go and get it. So, yeah. I feel like I'm just the most passionate about just, like, continuing with my art, making people laugh. Like, just being relatable. Okay, let's see. It's really good. Alright. What is your dream job? Okay, so I didn't genuinely, like, think of this question, like, as, because I don't really, like, know what you would say my dream job is, because I started creating content in my senior year of high school, and this is before COVID shut everything down, but I honestly, like, I loved creating videos, and I genuinely didn't think, like, within, like, 3-4 years that, honestly, we would have gotten this far. I didn't think about making a podcast. I mean, yeah, I'm like, everyone's like, I want to make a podcast. Like, I didn't really think about that. And, so, yeah. But I do feel like my dream job, like, always growing up, even with Halloween costumes, I had to be different. Like, I had to be that cheerleader with a microphone. I literally had to be like a little cheerleader with a microphone. Like, I swear there's probably a picture. I'd have to find it. Let's see if we can find it. I think I had like a microphone. Let's see. See if my Facebook will pull it up. But I believe that I had like I was just always so different. Like, I didn't just want to be just a cheerleader. Let's see what we can find. Where the hell are the photos? Oh, so smart. Alright, let's see. That was, yeah. Let's zoom in here. That was, let's see, and you see that thing right there? That's a microphone. I realize that this thing looks horrible, but yeah. So, just in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, I was that bitch. Alright. Let's see. Where do you plan to be in the next 5 years? I really hate goals questions. Because I'm not good at goals. Like, I'm good at, like, I guess, like, like knowing what I'm doing the next day. Working towards goals. But, like, if people ask me, what do you want to do in, like, the next 3 to 5 years? I barely know what I'm doing tomorrow. But, I definitely, like, honestly, like, if I stay, like, on this, like, comedian train, like, because I've loved making people laugh, and to be honest, I used to fluctuate, like, what I wanted to be when I grew up, all the time. Like, I'll tell you, I used to want to be a DJ. But, like, I don't know, I've always just loved making people laugh, and to be honest, I've kind of wanted to overcome my social anxiety. So, yeah. I think, honestly, like, I'd love to be doing more comedy stuff, and I'd love to be doing more stuff with soccer, because those are, like, two things I'm just very passionate about. I love soccer, and soccer is definitely something that I've loved for a long time, and I feel like it's one thing that never went away in my life, has always stayed consistent. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that answered your question, but will you get another certificate? Depends. Are we just doing for fun or not? Because I did had to quarantine for COVID, like back at the end of 2020. I did end up finishing my makeup artist certification course before finishing beauty school. I didn't even really finish beauty school, but, like, yeah. I may not get another certificate because I didn't really, like, I got my makeup artist certification, so I'm still a certified makeup artist, but I decided I also I wanted to do more stuff with soccer too, so, like, I decided to get, certified in sports nutrition and certified as a personal trainer so I can run my business, which, like, I'm honestly so glad about. I love it, and I've been having great success with it, so I'm gonna keep running with it. I mean, and honestly, if more certifications pop up in, the future, maybe. Just kind of depends on what they're for. Alright, let's see. why did you choose the name for the podcast? That's actually a great question. So I decided to call this Reinvented because if we all remember my last podcast, it's just kind of the reinvented version of that, because the whole goal of this is to make people laugh with, like, different guest appearances, and just, I feel like just kind of talking about, like, the other side of things, because, yeah, you can see a performer go up on stage, right? Like, your favorite comedians go up on stage, but do you know them outside of their, outside of their performing, self? Like, there are some things that just, kind of flow better. So I feel like I kind of wanted to, keep it, like, real, but also, funny at the same time. Alright. And now everyone's awaiting question. What happened with At Home Coffee? Let's talk about it. So, for starters, with At Home Coffee, if we all remember, at the beginning of 2021, I started working on At Home Coffee. And I know that was before a lot of you guys showed up, but I started working on At Home Coffee. And, yeah, it was going great until it wasn't. And I was trying so hard to open a place, get a place open, that it just wasn't working. Like, no place really wanted to answer me because a lot of them told me I didn't have small business experience, per se, like, running a restaurant. And I was too young, because at the time I was only, 19, 20. So places really didn't like that. Like, they didn't really like that. They liked that I had management experience, but they really didn't like of the inexperience I had. And then obviously we know I decided to make a website, because I was like, well, that way we can get products out to people who still want to support At Home Coffee when it does come out. So I decided, let's, do, like, at home baskets, right? Like, at home coffee baskets, and a lot of people didn't buy those, which kind of sucked, because it was like, it was kind of hard, because, like, I had to throw away all those products that I had bought, and that was, like, a lot of money, so obviously it was a waste of inventory. So yeah, At Home Coffee just really doesn't happen anymore. I mean, I honestly, like, I could try again at some point, but we could see. I'm debating if I want to renew my LLC for At Home Coffee. That's just, like, the basic gist of it, and that's what I always tell people. People are like, well, why? And I'm like, well, because no one bought anything. I'm not going to give you guys expired products. Alright. Alright, if you were to meet all of your current goals, what would your life look like in 5 years? Again, with the goals questions. If I met all my goals, because, like, obviously we know I have Portland's Funniest coming up sometime whenever they want to send me an email about it. So I would love to see how well that goes. And obviously I think I want, like, to get my name out there, hence why I go to open mics, because I'm trying to get my name out there. So, yeah, I think, in all honesty, I think that would be, I don't know, I think just, like, kind of getting my name out there and getting my career a little more established, and even getting this podcast out there a little more, too. I definitely think, like, that would be really great for my career as a creator, just in general. And yeah, I think that would just be great. Because I think my goals from, like, I want to be a content creator have changed to, I just want a little bit more established career. And I'm obviously willing to work to get it. So yeah, I think, in all honesty, I just want a little more established career and just kind of, like, happiness in my life. Alright, how do I manage my businesses? Okay, because people seem to think I have a lot of businesses, so as of right now, I'm going to tell you guys. So we have Fun Kicks, which is a like personal soccer training and sports nutrition business, which is linked in any of my bios on any of my socials. Then I have Front, which I'm still working on the relaunch. So I tend to just, like, when I plan out my day, like when I'm planning out videos and stuff like that, I tend to kind of plan out, like, what I need to get done in the day, or what I need to get done for each thing. So, like, I can't really do anything for Front right now because I'm waiting for a piece. So, like, but each thing has a different thing that we need to get done before, you know, like, the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. Like, I manage my own businesses. That's really, like, it. It's nothing, like, too crazy. And no, I don't have an assistant or anything. It is just me. I don't think I'm that established enough to have an assistant or to have a manager for my own career yet. I mean, once I'm established, maybe a bit more, I think it would be better. Do you like to travel? Yes, but I don't really travel very much. And I've only been to Oregon, which obviously because I live in Oregon, Washington, and California. I don't travel other than that. I have not traveled. And the last time I was in California, I was like 10 months old. So, I do like to kind of like, I guess, travel around Portland. Because a lot of like what I'm doing, when I'm working, right? Like if I'm going to, obviously when I went to go find like the Helium Comedy Club, I was going around Portland. Like, I know a lot of people who see me, like, obviously, you know, I have soccer games, all this other stuff. So, yeah, I think, in all honesty, like, that's, as I'm yawning over here, that's really, like, all there is to it. It's nothing, like, crazy. But I would love to travel more, in all honesty. So, yeah, I don't really have anything for that, but yeah. Alright, are you close with your parents? Yes, obviously, like, my mom does not like to be in videos, so you will not see her in videos. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, stop asking. You know, my dad actually doesn't mind being in videos. Obviously, you remember our Crumbl reviews, and people ask why we stopped doing those. Well, for starters, Crumbl costs a lot of money. 2, I just, like, I don't know, I wasn't, like, happy making those videos. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Crumbl cookie. They were good cookies. But at the end of the day, it was, like, maybe at the max, like, 5 minutes. And we would take a bite out of a cookie. And that was really it. And it was just kind of like, I wasn't happy making them. So that's why I stopped making them. I stopped doing Crumbl reviews altogether. So, yeah. And kind of follow up with this, does your family watch your videos? Yes and no. I used to let them, like, on my pages, right? Like, I'd follow them back, like, they would follow my accounts, right? But I made the executive decision just kind of from a business standpoint to keep them off of there because some of the people in my family were, like, threatening people. They were threatening, like, hate accounts, and I'm like, I don't need this. Like, stop threatening them. And I'm like, you need to stop this. You need to act like an adult and stop threatening fake accounts. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to threaten these fake accounts. Like, I'm going to continue to do my work, but you guys need to stop this. I don't need you protecting me. I'm a grown adult. I don't need you to be doing this. And so they kind of didn't listen. So I took all my family off any of my social medias that are for my work. So like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I told them you can specifically stay on Facebook. You can specifically stay on Facebook. So I'm not gonna keep you guys. I'm not gonna keep them on there. I said until you guys can act like adults. And that caused a lot of backlash, though, too, in my family, because they're like, well, not everyone's doing it. And I'm like, well, okay, but enough of you are. and I don't need that. Like, that's not the environment we're creating here. This is still my job at the end of the day. I'm like, I don't come to your job and start yelling at people who call you a bitch. So, they do see my videos from time to time. I do talk to them about it, but they aren't really a part of it anymore. Alright, when did you know that you wanted to open a coffee shop? And why? And when did I get my LLC? Okay, so I kind of, when I was like 18, 19, right? And this is also why I got my bartending license, right? So this is why I decided to become, not even a bartending license, like my server's permit, but whatever. Or my alcohol permit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think of that. But I wanted to, I wanted to open a bar. But for starters, there was a few problems with that. I wasn't of age to do that. So I thought, I like coffee. Let's open a coffee shop. So I decided to try to open At Home Coffee. Damn. So yeah. And it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. So I started kind of researching on how to open a coffee shop. Like, what do you do? And yeah, I went for it, in all honesty, and basically that's what happened. But I don't think I got my LLC until June of 2021. I think it was June of 2021 then, or around that time. Maybe it was May, somewhere around there. Because I got that first before a lot of places were asking, if I wanted to see them. So yeah. Are we going to do a live episode? So I want to ask you guys this: if maybe not next episode, but maybe a few episodes after, we could do a live episode, maybe from YouTube, and that I could just post here. I could just post on here for the people who didn't catch it. But does anyone want to see a live episode? You can let me know in any of my DMs. I prefer Instagram DMs because it actually goes off. My TikTok DMs don't exactly go off. But you guys can let me know, or on the Reinvented YouTube, you can comment and we can do a live one there, if that's what everyone wants. And I think that'd be great. But what do you guys want? All right. How do you deal with anxiety? So I used to deal with anxiety so badly. I was not good at dealing with my anxiety. I used to have constant panic attacks and sleep paralysis because of it. And I think I had to kind of learn, even now being a stand-up comedian, right? Yeah, it's so nerve-wracking for me to go up on a little stage, not in front of many people, but I have to remember to just put the anxiety aside and make it your friend. At the end of the day, just make it your friend. It's okay to make it your little friend. Just say, "We got this, buddy." I know that sounds so stupid and sounds so childish, but that's how that works. All right. Do you pay bills? Yes, guys, I pay bills. I'm still I tell people this so many times. I'm still an adult. People are like, "Well, why don't your parents buy this for you?" Because I'm 21. I wish my parents would still buy me these things, but regardless, even if I'm still living with them, I'm still an adult. I don't see where people don't see that. I'm I don't know how you grew up, but how I grew up is you work for what you want. It's not given to you. At least that's how I grew up. It's not just going to be given to you. You got to work to pay your bills. So, I don't see where people see that. I'm obviously, you were raised differently. Alright. Why I wash my face the way I do. So people get mad at me because I take my face wash and I don't put water on my face first. I do it afterwards. It still cleans my face. It's still the way you clean your face. It still works. Now, is it giving you that facial effect? Like, you can do this if you want. Like, it don't really matter. I just like, my face still gets cleaned regardless, so it still works. If you could move anywhere, where and why? Okay, I've always wanted to go to New York. People always tell me don't go to New York. There's a bunch of homeless people, a bunch of this shit. I'm like, yeah, same with Portland, like every major city in the United States. But like, I don't know. I've also like, I know like as a creator, a lot of people want to go to Los Angeles. Now I'm not like the oh yes I must go to Los Angeles train. I'm not. That's something I must do. I think it's more of a like thing of. No, I don't really like know how to say it, but it's more of. I think it would be pretty cool, like to be in Los Angeles or New York. I prefer New York, but like if the opportunities are gonna be in California, then they're gonna be in California. But I think, in all honesty, I want to go to New York. I've always wanted to go to New York, so yeah, I don't know. Alright. Now we're back to spirit questions, guys. Have you had any paranormal experiences? Yes. I mean, as I have said before, yes. Yes, I have. I remember I used to, like, I'll tell you guys one, like, and I've told this story before, but I remember I was, like, coming back from getting Crumble Cookie one time, when I used to do Crumble reviews, and I was coming back from getting Crumble Cookie, and I had this, dang it, I'm yawning again. And I had this, like, my hand was hurting, and I'm like, you know, usually you're like, your hand hurts, oh my god, and it's like, oh, my hand hurts, whatever. But then I was like, I started to kind of like, I was like, you know, if you're trying to tell me something, because, like, I also had this weird feeling, too. Like, it wasn't an anxiety feeling, like, something bad's gonna happen. It was just, like, this weird, like, feeling, and I'm like, and I remember saying, like, if you're trying to tell me something, you gotta do a better job. So I decided to be a little cocky bitch. And all I remember is, like, 2 seconds after that, my hand just shot with, like, freaking pain, like, no tomorrow. I was like, okay, I was just being cocky. I'm sorry. And, well, I was taking the bus back because I went to go see my dad. So, like, the bus passed by, like, it's like a little school. And I remember, like, getting home and I checked my phone. I remember looking at the news and I'm like, the first article I read was, this kid got shot in the hand. Literally in the hand. And I remember, like, it was probably a little bit before I had passed by, like, the bus I was on had passed by where the kid had got shot in the hand. Now I know why my hand was hurting. But I remember after that, because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that was, like, it was, like, to me, it was, like, a coincidence. And I'm like, what the fuck? And turned out, and then the TV went black for a little bit, because I thought, okay, it's going to the next episode. And the thing I was on took forever to load. And I just, like, I saw this, like, ghost in the blackness of the TV screen, like, sitting on the couch. And it scared, like, the shit out of me. I jumped, like, 3 feet in the air and I bolted to my room. And, like, but I forgot to grab my phone, like, so I couldn't call anyone and tell them what happened. I was, like, really freaked out for, like, 3 hours. So, just in case anyone's wondering. Alright. Do you realize that putting your life on social media makes you a target for bullying? Yes. Yes, I do. Here's the thing, though. I genuinely don't give a shit what people think about me. I'm gonna continue to do what I do. And I was bullied in high school, people. I did not love high school. I already went through that. The words you say aren't gonna hurt me. I'm gonna continue to keep my platform the way I want to keep it. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue to put my life out there and be relatable and find my people. That's all there really is to it. Alright, why don't you talk about hanging out with friends? Okay, a lot of my friends are also adults and they have their own lives and are in school. And some of them live in different states. So I am not gonna go and try to make a hangout date when we're all busy here. I love my friends, I still talk to them, I still text them. But I don't see them as much. It's called being an adult. At the end of the day, they're like, well, you gotta make time. Well, yeah, when everyone's schedule aligns. That's not exactly the most fun thing. Alright, why don't you focus on one creative outlet and not 20? I feel like that's a bit dramatic. And yes, that question literally said 20. It's not 20. People are like, oh, you're a business owner, you're this, you're this, you're this. And I'm like, that sounds like way too much work. Why can't you just say, everyone's like, well, you're a soccer player. Yes, I play soccer. I do play soccer, though. Oh, well, you're a business owner. Well, yep, very good. I've been running a business since I was 17. That hasn't changed. But to be honest, guys, in all honesty, yes. This is just how I show my art, and honestly, I love showing you guys my art this way. And all honesty, I like to put myself out there because, there are some people going through the same thing I'm going through, and just need to hear that it's okay. Continue with what you're doing. And some people won't like that. But I create a positive environment on my channel. I will not tolerate with hate. You're not going to be a negative Nancy on my page. So I will continue to focus on what I'm doing and continuing on my work and my art for you guys. Alright, have you been clubbing? No. I still firmly believe to this day I am not that person you take to a party. To a party, to the club, whatever. I don't genuinely believe that that's a good idea. I was never like that in high school. I'm still not like that today. Still not. I'm definitely not that type of person. And I don't even drink very often either. People even ask me why I don't make my alcohol drinks anymore. Because technically, I kind of can't physically drink. I can drink, but it physically, it kind of hurts. So, yeah. Let's see. Have I been on a date? Yes. Yes, guys. I don't think I've ever told you this story. But, I want to say it was freshman or sophomore year of high school. There was a guy who liked me, and I have never been the type of person who's oh yes, I must jump into a relationship because I'm so independent, and I've been that way my whole life. Okay, I've never been someone who's oh my god, I need a man. I've never been that way. But I kept trying to kind of say it I didn't feel that way about him. I'm not that type of person. But he wanted to go on a date, so I agreed. Basically, in the gist of it, yes, I've gone on a date before. Now, do you plan on getting a license? Some point, maybe. To be honest, it's not really something I'm oh, I need a license right the fuck now. I need to do this. It's not really something I'm oh yes, must do. No. I mean, it happens, right? Alright. Do you want kids? Not really. I have a little sister, but does not mean I am very good at, like, wiping a child's butt. I'm not very good at that. I just genuinely think, like, for me, I'm more focused, like, a lot on my career. I'm not focused so much on starting a family. I mean, yeah, it would be great to meet someone where we could, like, be happy for each other's careers and stuff like that, and, just build each other up personally, and maybe not worry about kids, but, like, I mean, if kids happen, they happen, right? Like, I'm not, like, opposed to being like, oh my god, I will never have kids, because we all say that, but, and then it happens, so, I mean, would it be, if it's in the cards, right? I did go to, like, years ago, I did get my, like, palm read, and they said, oh, you'll be married and you'll have kids, so, I'm still waiting for that to happen. I haven't been married, nor do I have any kids, and I'm 21, so, and then the last question, what does your family think of your comedy? So, mind you, they don't really go to any of the open mics I've gone to, and they don't really watch my videos, so I don't think they've really seen it, but they think I'm funny, so, that's all that matters, right? Especially when I get to roast the fuck out of them. I get to do it to my friends, too. It's okay. That's just who I am. So they don't really see it very much. But anyway, guys, that is this episode of Reinvented. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next week for another fun episode.